Good afternoon, everybody. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yep.
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 Okay. All right. What I'd like to do is take a moment to show you our existing system. We have a web application that the districts and schools use to upload data. It's called the I4C system. And normally, districts have to log into this website. Um, and they have to go to the upload files tab and select the submission type and preview the file and upload it. And the upload process in the current I4C system does data verification and then automatically inserts that data into the DOE database. Users can go to the work queue tab and see batches that have been uploaded, what their status is. And we were approached by various school districts that they were hoping to automate their system a little bit more so that users don't have to log in. They can just upload files. And they also wanted the ability to be able to verify their files without doing a full submission, which is one of the problems we have with our current system. So we started working on a new system called ADT, Automatic Data Transfer System, and we've modeled it after the state of Rhode Island's system. So if any of you have experience with dealing with the RIDE, which is the Rhode Island's Department of Education's interface and their system, this is what our new system that we're proposing is modeled after. So this screen here that we're seeing now, the ADT data collection agent, is a small application that the districts would install on their local PCs. So it would be run by the data administrator and allows them to create jobs. For example, I have a couple of different jobs scheduled here on this screen. And for example, this one here is for the Guilford student class submission, and there's various types of submissions that can happen and various sources for the submission. Over on the top left-hand side here, we have three types of submissions or sources for the submissions. It can come from a SQL Server database. It can come from any other ODBC data source set up on that PC, or it can come from a text file, CSV, or an Excel spreadsheet.
May I
So this
interrupt for a
particular
minute?
submission.
I'm sorry.
Say that again?
May I just please interrupt for a moment? We
Sure.
have somebody typing, and I don't know if they realize they can mute themselves. So if they, right now, everybody can speak. So if you have questions as we're going along, if you would like to ask a question or whatever, you can speak, but also you have the option to mute yourselves. Or if someone tells us you want us muted and you don't see how to do it, we can mute you. I'm not trying to discourage you from typing, taking notes or whatever, but this is also going to be recorded so that we can make the recording available afterwards. And maybe we could just take one moment to have people identify who's here. Should we start, Alicia? If you could tell us who you are.
Yeah, I'm here.
And you're from?
I'm the business analyst for state reporting for Power School for the New Hampshire school districts, and I actually work with Rhode Island, so we're quite familiar with their process and the ADT tool that they use to upload their data.
Thanks, Alicia. Denise,
Yeah.
how about you?
I'm Denise Blankenship, and I'm the business analyst for Follett Software, and we do have a Rhode Island customers. Although I don't directly work with them, I am familiar a little bit with them.
Thank you. Greg?
I'm Greg McComas. I'm business analyst for Infinite Campus. We also do support districts in Rhode Island as well.
Thank you. And Matt Lindstrom? Matt, no. Michael Stokes? Okay, I guess they're not got audio going. Michael Stokes, you with us? Ophelia Cruz.
Hi, this is Ophelia Cruz. I'm from Rediker Software. I'm the systems analyst application programmer, and I'm working with New Hampshire School or State is one of my assigned one. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. All right, if we could proceed, Mark, sorry for the little interruption.
Well, that's okay. All right, so as I was saying over here in the top left-hand quadrant of this job panel here, the users can select where their data is coming from. It can come directly from a SQL server. It can come from an ODBC data source. It can come from a TXT, CSV file, XLS, XML file. Down here is the settings for authentication information into the New Hampshire I4C system, the collection type that's being uploaded, the school year, and which district. If that user has access to more than one district, they can select the district. Down here there's a checkbox for validating only the submission. So if someone has a file, they're not sure if it's 100% correct or not, and they just want to test it, they can check this off, and it'll do a validation of the file only, but it won't actually submit it to the New Hampshire Department of Education. On the right-hand side is the scheduling portion here, where if they want to automatically have a submission happen, they can set this up to automate, and they can be submitted daily, weekly, monthly. And down towards the bottom here is the status. It tells you when the file was last transferred, when it was validated, and when it was last submitted. So this one here, as I said, we checked off validate only, so it doesn't do a submission. We save it. So we have these 5 jobs. If we want to run a particular job, we can just right-click on it and say execute now, and it will transfer it to the Department of Education. It'll validate the file, and that's it. That's done. It took about 10 seconds. We can look at the job log and see what happened. Okay, transferred. Okay. There were some validation failures here. 240 rows of the validation failed. The file that we uploaded was almost 7,000 rows, so it was pretty quick. It took 9 seconds to validate. And if we wanted to see the actual errors, we can view the validation errors, and it shows for each error what that row number, and what the actual error was. If we wanted to do a full submission, not just a validation, if we're going to accept what's going to happen, we uncheck the validate only, hit save, and we're going to execute it again. This takes about an extra 10 seconds or so to do the actual submission. And now if we go back to our work queue on I4C, we'll actually see that that submission just happened. So it actually did make it to the New Hampshire DOE systems. And we can also look at it again here for this job. We can see that it validated and it actually did the submission. Um, As I say, there's different data sources that can be used for the submission. So if the schools wanted to get their data directly from the SIS system or an intermediate system, they can check SQL Server here and they type in the query here for, that would be unique to this particular type of submission, and they'd be good to go. You can preview the data that you're trying to submit, so it actually takes it from the query. What else we need to cover? Anything else you can think, Cindy?
I think we've got all the pieces there. I just want to mention again that everyone can hear everything that everyone is doing. So if you're rattling papers or whatever you're doing, just be aware that we can hear that. And you can mute yourself. Does anybody have any questions? I'm really, really pleased. We have MMS is not here because they've been involved all along with this, so they're ready to go. They're all set with this as soon as it's ready. So we have all the other biggest student information system companies here today that have the majority of all of our schools in New Hampshire. So this is very exciting. As I said, it is recorded, to be recorded, and we will let you know where it's going to be posted so that if you want to have someone that couldn't make it today, we know of one person, then we can make it available for them. Does anybody have questions? Is there anything that you want Mark to go back over? Please ask.
This is Greg from Infinite Campus. What is the time frame for the districts to start using this?
That's a good question. Right now, we're still in the test phase. I have only the student class submission fully coded, and right now it's running on our test server. So the next phase of this will be to have an actual district do some testing with it. I still have some coding that's going to happen when we go to put this on our production server. But I'm hoping we can start testing with the district within a month, and I'm hoping that we can go live with at least one submission type probably within 2 months.
Okay, Mark, are we prioritizing here? Would the class submission be the first priority?
That's what was told to me. Yes.
That's great.
So if there are any other submission types, Cindy, that you think we should work on after the student class, please let me know.
Well, Mike Schwartz has joined us too. So Mike will be the one that will be making those decisions, I'm sure. And the class submission couldn't have been, I wouldn't have picked any other one but that to be the first one to go. So, Mike, is there anything you wanted to add in or say? Okay, maybe he's not.
A follow-up question to that, how will you be communicating that from yourself to the districts and or to the vendors when this is going to go into production other than just testing?
That's a good question that hasn't been determined yet.
Okay.
I think, would it be suitable, now that I have all of your emails and contacted you for this session today, would that be an appropriate way to contact you for dates when we know implementation dates?
That should work.
That's fine.
Okay, if you prefer a phone call and or you would like a phone call and an email, you can always email me because you now have my email as well. So you're more than happy to do that.
Okay.
Other questions? So it sounds like a number of you are already doing this with Rhode Island, so it doesn't sound like it should be too much of a problem at your end. That's what I'm kind of hearing. All right, well, if nobody has any more questions, and Mark, you have nothing else to add, thank everyone for coming. If you think of anything else, please email me, and when I don't know the answer, I'll forward on to Mark. So once again, thank you, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you,
Thank
Cindy.
you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mark, you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay. You'll have to give me instructions on how to FTP. Let me stop the